It's Hove Off. I heard you looking for the real, you can find it over here. You can find it over here. You can find it over here. Yeah. I heard you looking for the real, you can find it over here.
What up, world? What up, world? What up, world? It's your boy, Mr. Vaughn. Mr. Vaughn's channel, Sweatbox. We back, we live, we active. You know the deal. You know the words. You know how we do. Welcome. Today, we talking Walking Dead. Another episode of The Walking Dead. This week it's season 7, episode 13, I believe. 12? It's 13. Called Bury Me Here. And Bury Me a G. No, it's not called Bury Me. It's just called Bury Me Here. I like this episode. It was pretty good. Excuse me. Yeah, I like this episode overall. I have, obviously, like with everything, I got a couple nitpicks, but I was enjoying this episode. It threw me a couple of curveballs that I wasn't expecting, but I did enjoy this episode. So, things that I really like. Oh, just of course, we know spoilers. If you haven't seen the episode, what are you doing watching a review of the episode that you haven't seen? You're stupid. I liked Carol. I liked the Carol stuff. I liked the opening scene of Carol when she goes to, not the opening scene, but the scene where she goes to, where she walks to the kingdom and just murders all those walkers real quick. It was really clever to do the sign. She's standing up in the tree and just yak it, yak it, yak it. Impaling heads with a with the bottom of a street sign. A one-way sign, to be specific. That was actually funny. I liked that. I liked all the stuff with Morgan. We got Murder Morgan back. Yes, Murder Morgan is back. Clear. You gotta clear. I love the entire scene when he has this breakdown and snaps back to clear. Yeah, I liked that. Oh, that was awesome. The little flashbacks, and then when he kicks over and finds the cantaloupe, it's the only thing that kept him from slitting. He was about to slit his wrist, and I was like, man, that was tough. So I like that scene a lot. The scenes with the saviors and the kingdom and their exchanges, I always like those scenes. They're always very tension filled. The dude that plays the leader of the leader of that group of saviors, he always does a good job. And then the one douchebag in the savior group, he always does a good job too. So I like this. Yeah, I like those scenes a lot. When we got 2 character deaths this episode. We got 2 character deaths, 2 members of the kingdom. Really, the only 2 members besides Ezekiel and the big Samoan dude. I can never remember his name. I'm sorry. That we've really gotten to know. Benjamin and Richard. They both died. They both got killed this week. Benjamin was killed by the Saviors when they came up short on their tribute, and Richard was killed by Morgan after it was found out after Morgan found out that Richard set everything up and was the reason that Benjamin got killed. So Morgan just beat the shit out of him, gave him 2 with the stick, yak yak, and then just choked the life out of him, banged his head off the concrete. That was awesome to see. Even the Saviors were like, "What the fuck is going on?" You could tell they were shook. You could totally tell they were shook. But I did a good job with showing the absolute terror on everybody's faces as Morgan just brutally murdered Richard. I mean, yeah, it was. I liked that scene a lot. I enjoyed the scene when when the Saviors found out that Benjamin was killed. He was like, and he looked at old boy and was like, "Start walking. If you say anything, I'll fucking kill you." I like that scene a lot. I like that scene a lot. Again, the stuff with Carol, with her coming in, her asking Morgan what really happened. Now, here's my biggest nitpick of this episode. I didn't like when Carol found out about Glenn and Abraham and everybody else who the Saviors killed. I didn't like that. I didn't like how she goes to Morgan. Morgan doesn't tell her, and then once he snaps and goes back to murder Morgan and goes back to and turns back into murder Morgan, he just goes to Carol's house and he's like, "Yeah, Glenn and Abraham are dead. Got beat to death with a baseball bat. He also killed yada 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 yada. All right, peace." That was it. He was just so psycho now. I'm just ruining everybody's day. I'm ruining everybody's day. So I wasn't a big fan of that scene, but other than that, this was a pretty good episode for me. We got a lot of momentum moving forward. King Ezekiel has finally come around. He knows we're gonna have to fight the saviors. It was a great scene when at the end when Carol comes and like, I'm here. I'm gonna stay here now. We gotta get ready to fight the saviors. He was like, yes, we do, but not today, because they're in the middle of mourning of the people that they lost. A scene that I thought was really funny and very underrated was when the lady who I don't even think they gave her name. I don't know, but when she was telling King Ezekiel about the garden having weevils, so they had to burn everything and start again. The scene, he was like, you can come closer. She was like, no, I'm good, because she was terrified of Sheba. She didn't want to come closer to the tiger, which was one of the smartest things I've ever seen and very realistic. If they just had the scene where everybody just walks up to King Ezekiel, what's up, King? You know what I'm saying? And Sheba's sitting right there. I'd be like, dude, do you not realize there's a fucking tiger right there? That's gonna eat your leg if you even twerk too hard. If you twitch too hard, he's gonna fucking take your leg off. I'm sure if he started twerking, he might bite you too. So I thought that scene was really well done. Sheba gave a growl. She's like, I think I just pissed my pants. Okay, I'm gonna go now. So that scene was very fun. It was a good moment of levity. And what was kind of a dark episode. We didn't get any of our survivors from Alexandria or the Hilltop. This was all Kingdom, but it was very well done. For a time where we haven't gotten much of the Kingdom, they've done a good job in a short time span of building a good emotional bond with the people from the Kingdom. So I mean, I actually did kind of feel something when Richard and Benjamin were killed. I was like, and you knew Benjamin was going to get killed, just the way they were building it up. Him having Carol, him talking to Carol, him having a little moment with Morgan. As soon as I was like, oh yeah, he's getting too much character development. He's dead. I saw that coming from a mile away. So yeah, I mean, that's cool. Even though it was a little telegraphed, I still like the execution, of the scene, and then of course the execution of Benjamin. The scene after he shot, and them getting him to Carol's house, and that was all that was a very good scene. All of it was all very good. The scene between Morgan and Richard, when Richard was telling himself, when Richard was talking about how he lost his family and the time and everything. I mean, all of that was very good. I liked all of that. This was a really, like I said, it wasn't the greatest episode ever, but it had a lot that I liked. And it didn't have that much that I disliked. All my dislikes about this episode are pretty minuscule and nitpicky, so I'm not going to really get into those much. This was an overall, even though it wasn't the greatest episode as far as, like I said, action, you got some cool walker kills, a couple characters died, but it just gave us a lot of momentum moving to where we needed to go. We finally have the Kingdom where we need them to be as far as ready to fight the saviors. It was a good episode, man. I liked this episode a lot. It was, like I said, it wasn't the greatest, but it was. I don't have much bad to say about this one. So, good job, Walking Dead. I think we only got 3 episodes left now, so let's get to this nitty gritty, and let's finish strong. Come on, let's see how you're gonna finish this. Yeah. All right. You know how we do. It's your boy, Mr. Vaughn, Mr. Vaughn's channel, Sweatbox. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And as always, until next week, I have to clear. That's not me throwing punches. I don't have a stick. This is me, working the stick like Morgan because I have to clear. I have to clear. Don't make fun of my Morgan impression. I'm sensitive. All right, you guys. It's your boy, Mr. Vaughn. Peace. 100, y'all.
Let's get it cracking, big dope, multi-platinum. Right here is where it's happening. Ain't no frauds in my faction. Shocked by my reaction, excel at where you lack.